Ladies, style up. Things to avoid for the first date when given by a man. You know, one time I met a lady, and then, of course, one of the first questions that we ask from ladies is that, are you dating? And most of them, of course, they say no, and I don't know why every lady you meet, she will automatically tell you like, no, I'm not dating, or she will automatically tell you that I was dating, but we parted ways. So I don't know. I've never known the logic behind that. But I met one of the lady, and this was her story. When I asked her that, she told me that she parted with his boyfriend, and I was like, what made you to part your ways? She told me the reason why that I parted my ways with my boyfriend is because in our family, I'm coming from a single mother, and that lady, she has already finished the college. She said it's about her and her younger brother that who is in lower primary, that is I think grade 2 or 3, something like that. And she needed that boyfriend to build a house for her mother, because she's saying that what her mother went through to take her to school, so she wanted to appreciate her mother. And then she was like telling the boyfriend to build the house for her mother, and then the boyfriend could not. Then that was one of the reasons that why they parted ways and they disagreed. But one of my questions was, so how sure am I that where I'm getting? Because the first boyfriend, they parted ways because he was nice, but he did not do as she wanted. And what she wanted is that boyfriend to build the house for the mother. You see, this is a boyfriend. How can a boyfriend build a house for your parents? You see, if it's your husband, it's something that which is understandable, and it's not something that which is compulsory. It is something that which will be in line with an agreement. You will sit down and agree with some reasons like, oh, because when I marry you, I will take your parents as my parents. But this issue is like, you build a house for her mother. And that was the reason, and that was one of the red flags that I was like, okay. So the boyfriend refused to build the house for her mother, regardless whether the boyfriend had money or not, but she decided to part ways. Then that must be serious. Now, what are one of the things that you need as ladies to avoid when you meet a new boyfriend? When you are meeting your new boyfriend, it is not the time to tell you for the first date. It's not the time to tell your boyfriend your problems, but it's the time to tell your boyfriend your self, about yourself. Don't tell me that even your problem is part of yourself. I understand. But when I mean this, yes, you can express yourself of your situation, but not the demand from your boyfriend. And one of the reasons that I say that this is one of the very serious matter, the lady went ahead and told me about that she's in stress. So actually, we had agreed to meet. That time we agreed to meet, and as we were meeting, then she came very jovial and all, we met. But all of a sudden, she started changing the moods and all, and I was like, what's happening? She told me, there's something that which is making me not comfortable. I asked her, what is it? She told me that my younger brother, that is who is in grade 2, I think grade 3, is supposed to be in school. He got a call from school that he should pay the school fees, and the mother is not in a position. Okay, I asked where does he school? Does he go to a private school or a government school? She said that he goes to a government school, but a boarding school. One of my questions was, a class 3 or a grade 3 pupil to be a boarding school? How old is it? He said it's around 7 or 8 years. I said no. You see, really, sometimes if you want to lie to a man, use some higher liars that which a man can buy. There are the liars that men we cannot buy. Now, she told me like, no, you know what? Is in a boarding school. I said, but because you don't need to take your child to a school that you cannot afford, of course. And she was like, oh, like now I'm sort of around 8 to 10,000 to sort out things like to buy him some stuffs, pocket money and school fees. As we agreed with the teeth, I told that you can speak to the principal and you make some agreement because schools are open. She said that okay, that's what we agreed with him, and I said like okay. Now from there, that means she could not give me time to talk to her because I tell you she started changing her moods. Then my question was okay because one, I had heard about the boyfriend who was not able to uh, build a house for her mother. Then now she has told me the reason why her mood has changed and everything is because of this money. And the question was, okay, now because this has not been done, what are you going to do? She said, now I don't know. Now maybe I'm looking for those money. Maybe if you give me or what. Okay, then she did not give me time to express what I wanted to talk to her because when you're giving already debt, it does not mean that maybe you are getting to a relationship. There are many things that you can discuss. That's why African people maybe take things wrong. In US, in Europe, I've been there. You can give a debt and you talk in a business thing or you talk in a friendly manner. Then after that, she left. I told her, then I think you are not in a position that we can talk. I will give you time. Then you go. Then we will talk. But later, when I called her, she was like, "Who is this?" And you understand? I was like, "You mean you deleted my number?" No, sorry. I will call you. Then the other day, call during the day. Then I learned like the other day, like, what can I help you? Okay, I understand what was happening, but the reason why she was doing all this it's because I did not give her those money, so that's why she was behaving that way. And I was like, okay, if this is the business ladies go, we have very hard working some ladies outside there, go out surely earning from their sweat. But if this is what ladies you do to make money, go and stop it. That's very bad. You cannot bring your ruggages to a new boyfriend or to a first date. Number one, don't go telling your boyfriend your problems in the first day. If you are not ready for that, don't accept that date. Number two, meeting your boyfriend's obligation, don't bring your obligation, don't bring your budget to your boyfriend. This reminds me with one of my friends. This were doing a test for a lady, and we asked this lady about like I was like, okay, can we know each other and all? Then she was like, okay, what are you bringing on the table as a man? You know, this is Love Capsules 15. I'm talking about this. I've talked before about ladies monetizing their pussy. Now I was like, okay, what are you bringing on table? And I said, of course, if you are my wife, if it happens that you become my girlfriend or my wife, of course, what I bring on table is everything. Of course, I do as a family member or as a family man. And like, okay, if I'm getting to this relationship, what are the benefits that I'm getting? This tells you that there's no marriage nowadays. Every relationship is for benefits. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? And I was like, okay, if I was to get you, of course, the first thing is to move you from where you stay to a new house. And then I will take a responsibility of a house. But I said, you know what happens? As men or as a man, I will not promise you to pay the whole amount of the house. But I will promise you, if you have this amount, because I'm not expecting that I'm getting you in town, you don't have a job or something. I'm expecting there's something that you are doing. You tell me that you are to pay house rent this amount, but you are lacking this. Not that I take full responsibility because I'm my house. We are working, both of us. I'm having my responsibility, just like you. I can only add you what you have learned. And I said there's other things like saloon and all. They're not compulsory that as a man I should do. There are things that I do partially, not full time. Like I'm now the one doing that. Until you become my wife in the house, that I will take full time. Even our wives nowadays, they take some other things on their own. And then she was okay. Then the other time when we were talking, every time we talk, because we know what we are doing, she was like, where can we meet? She's proposing to a places that she cannot afford, like Serena and other bigger places. I was like, why do you propose to places where you cannot afford? Because when I tell her, can you come to this place? She's saying she doesn't have a transport. Currently, she's struggling financially. Then why do you think that the other people are not struggling? Ladies, please avoid that kind of tabia. See you in the next episode 16 as we talk more. Dr. Robert Osoro.